Welcome back, Josh, the driving instructor. As always, lovely to have you here. Today we're going to look at 20 of the most common UK road sign questions. These will also be in the theory, so it's well worth having a look. And a lot of these questions actually cause learners to make some quite serious mistakes because they don't know the answers to these. So if you are on driving lessons or you're planning to take your theory, it's well worth having a look. So we're going to start off with some fairly simple ones. A red traffic light means A, stop, B, safe to cross, or C, no entry. And of course the answer is A, stop. If you see a red light, make sure you do stop the car. B, what does an amber light mean? Is it A, speed up and get through it quick? B, stop immediately? Or C, stop unless you're too close to the crossing to stop? And of course the answer is again C, stop unless you're too close to the crossing to stop. Now this takes a bit of practice, but yes, again, if that light ends up going red when you are over the crossing, when you're going over the line, then that is a failable offence and it is a finable offence and it's something we want to avoid. So unless you're already going over the line while it's going amber, I suggest you try your best to stop. And number 3, what does a green light mean? Is it A, no entry, B, stop here, or C, safe to go? And of course the answer is C, safe to go. If you see a green light and you're driving, that generally means you can go, but do make sure there's not pedestrians still on the crossing because that's not okay to then run them over. Number 4, what does this following sign represent? These are pretty big signs, guys. Is it A, stop, B, no parking, or C, there is a hospital ahead? It is A, stop. If you see a stop sign, guys, this actually means you have to stop on the line. Doesn't matter how clear the road is, okay? If you don't physically stop the car just for a second, that will be a test fail, finable offence, etc. Number 5, what does this sign mean? Is it A, keep left, B, there is no road to the left, or C, compulsory left turn? And yes, once again, the answer is C. It is a compulsory left turn. If you see a blue sign, that's an information sign to let us know that we need to do that. In this case, it is a compulsory left turn. 6, what does this sign mean? It's an upside down triangle. It can be blank, it can have something in there, but it always means the same thing. It is universal. Is it A, give way? Is it B, hospital ahead? Or is it C, traffic island ahead? And the answer is yes, A, it is a give way sign. Now these can be road markings on the road of triangles. These can just be blank signs. Regardless, if it's an upside down triangle, it is telling you to give way. If you see a whole bunch of signs somewhere, some places are over signposted almost, those give way signs are the absolute priority because if you don't stop, well, you're pulling out in a junction on other cars. Number 7, what does this interesting red circle mean? Does it mean A, no overtaking, B, no parking, or C, no stopping? Interestingly, it is C. It is a no stopping sign. You'll often see these on dual carriageways and motorways. It just means you can't just pull over to take a call or for whatever else you might be pulling over for, but you can't do it. Number 8, what does the following sign mean? Is it A, no entry, B, one way, or C, speed limit ends? And it is indeed one way. If you see one of these blue signs, it may also say underneath one way, or it may not. But if it has the arrow like that, it's just showing that this is a one-way street, which is really important because at the end of the road, if you come to a junction, if you're turning right, you must be on the right side of the road. If you position yourself on the left to turn right on a one-way street, you will end up failing your driving test. Number 9, what does this blue circle mean? Does it mean A, use either side, B, priority traffic ahead, or C, mini roundabout, give way to your right? And it does indeed mean C, give way to your right. There is a mini roundabout. If you see this blue sign, it's a mini roundabout, and you need to make sure you're using your forward planning to spot these mini roundabouts so you don't get overwhelmed when you get there and lack time and start messing things up. Okay, what does this funny shaped sign mean? Is it indicating that no bikes are allowed this way? Is it B, there is no entry this way? Or is it C, there is no through road this way? And of course the answer is C, there is no through road. This is basically saying it's a dead end. You often see these in cul-de-sacs, places like that. If you see that sign, unless you live down there or plan to go and speak to someone down there, it's not the right way to go. and you'll end up having to do a 3-point turn. Number 11. Now this sign isn't often seen, however, it is really important that so when we do see it, we know what we're doing. Now, is this sign meaning A, minimum speed 30 miles per hour, B, maximum speed 30 miles per hour, or C, 30 mile per hour speed limit during rush hour? And the answer is minimum speed of 30 miles per hour, meaning you can't go less than 30 miles per hour on this road, as it wouldn't be safe for other drivers. Okay, number 12. What does this triangular sign mean? Quick little tip, someone once taught me, if you're doing your theory test, if you see a circular sign, it is shaped like an O for order. If you see a triangular sign, if you break that triangle, it creates a W, which is a W for warning. So any triangle you see will be a warning sign. So this is a warning sign first of all, and what is it warning? Is it warning of a toucan crossing? Is it warning of a zebra crossing? Or is it warning of a pelican crossing? And the answer is, of course, a zebra crossing, as you can see from the lines, which means you are going to need to stop if a pedestrian is waiting or already crossing the road or about to cross. Basically, pedestrians have priority at zebra crossings. You must also wait till their feet are off the zebra crossing before continuing at all. Number 13. How many points would cause me to have to redo my driving test within the first 2 years of driving? Is it A, 12 points, B, 6 points, or C, 3 points? And the answer is B, 6 points. If you get 6 points in the first 2 years of driving, you will have to redo your theory test and your driving test as well. Number 14, what does this circular sign with the 3O actually mean? It's one of the most common signs that you're going to see in the UK. First of all, I mentioned earlier, it is an O for an order, just to give you a little clue. Is it A, is it an order for a maximum speed of 30 miles per hour? Is it an order for a B of minimum speed of 30 miles per hour? Or is it C, is it a warning that 30 miles per hour would be recommended? And it is, of course, a maximum speed order of 30 miles per hour. You cannot go above 30 miles per hour on this road. Okay, what does this lovely red sign mean? Number 15. Is it A, cars are only allowed ahead, B, no entry, or C, no U-turns allowed? And the answer is B, no entry. If you see this sign, you are under no condition allowed to continue through that road, so don't go down there. Otherwise, you are ending up going down a one-way street the wrong way. 16, you are required to move out the way of which emergency vehicle? Is it A, police vehicles, B, ambulance and fire brigade, or C, police, ambulance and fire brigade while their sirens or lights are flashing? And it is C. If you see any emergency vehicle with the lights active or the sirens on, they are saying, please move out the way, and you need to move out the way as quickly and safely as possible. Okay, number 17. Now, this is one of my favorite signs. I really like this sign. So what does this sign on the road actually mean? Is it A, an arrow pointing go this way? Or is it B, don't go this way? Or is it C, an upside down triangle, meaning give way? And it is actually C. It is the upside down triangle on the left side of the road as you come to the junction, saying give way, stop here if there's any traffic coming. It is my favorite sign because I've had a few students see that as we're driving down the road to turn right, and they've seen it as an arrow and they've just driven straight onto the wrong side of the road. Don't do that. Not fun. Not for me, not for you, not for anyone. 18, what does this bad boy mean? Does this sign represent a 60 mile per hour speed limit? Does it represent a national speed limit? Or does it represent a 70 mile per hour speed limit? It is, of course, the national speed limit sign, which does mean you are allowed to go up to 60 miles per hour on a single carriageway and 70 miles per hour on a dual carriageway. Do note that if you see this sign on a country road, that doesn't mean you're aiming to get up to 60 miles per hour. That means you're allowed to get up to 60 miles per hour if it's safe. You've got to use your judgment. If it's only safe to do 30, then that's the speed you're doing. 19, what does this triangular sign mean? Is it A, double bend, B, windy road, or C, cattle crossing? It is actually a double bend, and that's why it's shaped with two bends. If you see one of these, you may want to think about slowing down depending on what your speed already is. Finally, number 20, what does this triangular sign mean? Is it A, the end of a dual carriageway? B, we have a very low bridge coming up? Or C, the road narrows on both sides? And the answer is C, the road is narrowing on both sides. So it may be a case of slowing down, or it may be a case of giving way. It's just letting you know something is changing, so keep that in mind. That is the end of the 20 questions, ladies and gents, boys and girls. I hope you have enjoyed them. If they helped, don't forget to like and subscribe, and do let me know in the comments so I can always make some more.